Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm trying something different, trying a new microphone. I got my microphone clipped up here. So y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. If not, we're gonna have to scrap this whole thing. But I just wanted to talk to the people today. Talk to the people on the lunch break. Talk to the people about the news that we heard last night. It's actually breaking news to me. Not so much broken breaking news because it happened last night, but I do think for Cowboys Nation, this is something to talk about. It's something to talk about because the Commanders, they are a competitor in our division. So it is news when it comes to that. Also, let's just call a spade a spade. We could use a running back right now with how the room is going right now, and you know, I'll even say this: Malik Davis coming in late in some of these preseason games lets me know that at the running back position we didn't do enough because Malik Davis has been here for years. And for those in the chat, let me know if y'all can hear me. There's wind blowing, but I also got this new microphone that I'm testing out too. So y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Hopefully so. Hopefully so. I see it beeping and everything. People in the comments, let me know if y'all can hear me. I don't see anybody saying anything, so I don't know if you guys can hear me. I don't even know if I can write anything in the chat. All right, cool. All right, bet. Bet. Because, Rome told me this. So, y'all, for those that don't know, cover three, Rome, Tuck, me, Rome was just like, man, I be loving your walks and your walking talks. He was like, but sometimes the iPhone don't be doing you no justice. So he was like, if you got one of them little walking microphones, I was like, oh damn. Well, my lady got me got me that years ago, and it's just sitting, and I haven't used it. So it's good to know. What's up, Dave Jenkins, Regina, Gary? How y'all doing? How are y'all doing today? Hopefully, I appreciate everybody that does tune in. Hit that like button so people know that we're here because we're going to discuss something, you know, that's near and dear to my heart. For those that know who've been following the channel, last year I told y'all that, Coach Savage, shout out to Martino Savage. He changed a lot of the commanders in the area. Most of the backfield, most of the guys that they have in the backfield, he has trained over there, including Brian Robinson Jr., who I've had the pleasure of meeting. So that's why this is big for me. And so yesterday we're looking, and he said, "You must live in Alaska with that jacket, my boy." Hey, look, I'm trying to get down to about 210 for my birthday on the 29th. I am more than halfway there. I started at 229 on July 3rd. And so I'm down to about like the 216, 217 range. So I'm real close. There's actually been times where I've been down to about 213 after a fierce workout and stuff like that. So I'm getting pretty close. And it's actually pretty gloomy out here. Let me show y'all. Like I'm by a park now, but it's pretty gloomy out here for the walk this today. It's normally real muggy. This is the best day in the DMV that it's been for a long time. You know what I'm saying? DMV just eating, just chilling, eating some barbecue chopped brisket and beans from our Blues barbecue truck. Man, you gotta let me know where that Blues barbecue truck is, man. I gotta come test it out myself, bro. Let me know where it is. You know what I'm saying? I definitely will pop by because you definitely show love on this channel, big time. All right. So, back to Brian Robinson Jr. Brian Robinson Jr. last year was the one who told me that they were gonna be good. And when I talked to him face to face, man to man, good dude. Very good dude. He told me that DQ had flipped that culture over there, and that they were expecting to be good, and he didn't lie. They were able to turn things around. I think last year he had some injury concerns. Last year he had some injury concerns, and I think he missed some games. And they definitely missed him when they didn't have him. So, you know, B Rob, he actually is a real good dude. My son is typically an introvert, but the part that he gets from me is if he wants to know some information, he knows how to go seek it out. So after a grueling workout with Coach Savage, my boy Jay, he went to go talk to B Rob, get some information on how to make it, what are some of the things you need to work on, all that type of stuff. And they were engaged in conversation for about 10 minutes. And so for me, I'm indebted to B Rob because he was a good dude. He talked to me, he talked to him. You know, I wasn't gonna be one of them dudes that put the camera all in your face and ask the questions, and you know what I'm saying? I could have done that. I could have tried to do that, but I didn't want to do that. Sometimes when you run into players, you run into celebrities, you know what I'm saying? You play it cool, and you know, eventually they'll remember you. So I say all that to say, Dallas, you might want to look at B Rob for the things that we want to do. B Rob is better than any running back that we have on this roster. He's better than every last one of them. And if we want to be the team that's going to be able to run the football, like you say, he's one of those guys that is very big, very powerful, has the pedigree that we talk about. I think that he would be an excellent fit. B Rob can catch the football. B Rob can run with attitude. I do, and I have heard that there are some fumbling concerns that people are worried about and stuff like that. To me, fumbling concerns, all that is coaching. But I think that his big frame gives other teams something that they have to really worry about. And when I look at him, and I know he got hurt. He got hurt when we played them, and I think that that's a big reason why we beat them. He got hurt early. I want to say he got hurt on the first play. I forget which who tackled him a little weird, but when he went out the game, I was like, oh, they in trouble. And so when I think about pairing him up with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, giving Dak Prescott somebody back there that you can hand the ball off to, somebody who's not going to cost you a whole bunch. I think that B Rob offers everything that you kind of need at this point. Do I think B Rob is like an elite running back? No. But I do think he's around the tier two type running back in the league. And for me, I think tier two is just perfect for what we're going to do. It's just perfect. I know that a lot of people, and see, here's the crazy thing about it. He talked too much that he was injured a lot last year. We have injury concerns with the whole running back room. So if that's the game that we're going to play, then again, you know, we're going into this year with a big question mark, big time question mark. Javonte Williams, he did play a lot last year, but he hasn't been the same since his injury. Jadon Blue has been injured damn near his whole tenure with us. He's been injured his whole tenure, and he's had knee concerns, I want to say. Or he had some concerns. That's why he didn't run at the combine the way that he should have run. Deuce Vaughn hurt every damn camp. Miles Sanders was hurt in camp. Every damn one of our running backs, we have injury concerns. So it's like we can pick and choose, or we can look at it like this. If it's an even playing field as far as injury concern, then why aren't we just talking about how good of a player he is? You know what I mean? And so it's like We don't know. And all them question marks. The question is he a good player, and can he help us? Because if we're not doing that about the other running back, which I have done, you know what I'm saying? If we're going to talk about Williams and how Williams ain't had no vision in Denver, you know what I'm saying? If we not saying that, you know what I'm saying? We ain't talk about nothing. If we not talk about how Miles Sanders got chased out of Philly and chased out of Carolina, we ain't talk about nothing. You know, we ain't going to talk about Jadon Blue in Texas and why he really wasn't RB1 like that. He was more like a receiver, halfway, a hybrid. We ain't talking about nothing. If we being honest, in that running back room, the only person, and his stint in the NFL hasn't been like that, but Deuce Vaughn in his college career, where you kind of hang your hat on a little bit, he was a RB1 in college. Hunter Lipke was too. There's question marks all over the place. I just want a good player in here. And my question is he better than the guys we have? Absolutely. Without, I don't even add an eye. Put it on do not disturb. All right, yeah, cool. Yeah, my guy Jay Tuck says I doubt they do it. You right. I doubt they do it too. I just gotta throw it out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? We gotta throw out the ideas. We talked about it in our chat yesterday, bro. At the end of the day, we have to throw out the solution. We have to continue to throw out the solution. We gotta keep throwing out the solution. Because if we don't, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the fans and the people, and they will remember who came up with the ideas. They'll remember and they'll know. And I mean, if I'm being honest this year, I said that I want to kind of expand. I want to talk about the Commanders. I want to talk about the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? The Commanders, just because they right here and they're rival. But the Ravens, I really admire how the Ravens build their football team. So if I could kind of get a grasp on how the Ravens really do things, how the ribs, or you know what I'm saying, how the how the cow is slaughtered. Because that's what you said. Your wife is from Nebraska, so she know all about the slaughtering and everything like that. If I could figure out how they slaughter in Baltimore, maybe we could bring some of those things back to the Cowboys. Because from the outside looking in, it looks like they got a painless slaughter going on over there. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we just gotta continue to throw out the solution. Some maybe they'll accept, some maybe they won't. Like for example, Stephon Gilmore, Linville Joseph, we need to be reaching out to their agents right now. We got to reach out to them right now. Be savage as a Giants fan watching Eagles and Packers. They know how to build a team. Yeah, Ted Thompson in Green Bay has been doing this thing for quite some time, man. Ted Thompson knows what he's doing. The Eagles, Howie knows what he's doing. The Ravens, they know what they're doing. The Chiefs, they know what they're doing. Uh, I kind of want to say Buffalo knows what they're doing, but it kind of looks like Buffalo does a whole bunch of spitballing and trying to figure out what they can do. That I'll give Buffalo this. Buffalo tries. They try. They try. They fail, and they continue to try while they have their window of their quarterback. So I'll give them that. Trying to think. I think the Rams know how to build, and the reason that I say that is the Rams continue under Sean McVay to reinvent themselves over and over. You know what I'm saying? Like the Rams will take maybe a year off, and then maybe they'll figure it out. And then when that window closes, they find another window. Like we got to remember, the Rams at one point went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff, and they lost. and then they kind of stunk. They made that trade, and then they go back to the Super Bowl with Stafford, and they win it all. And right now, I mean, they were a play away last year from beating Philadelphia to going to the NFC Championship and possibly beating Washington and going back to the dance. I think that the Rams are knocking on the door again. They're knocking on the door again. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Rams definitely know how to build a team. I think the Chargers know how to build a team. I just don't think that it is falling into place yet. I think they needed the head coach. As far as team building, I feel like the Chargers know what they're doing. And with Harbaugh, you better believe that they're going to be a better football team for quite some time. I am scared to death of the Chargers. I'm calling it right now. They got our guy Hampton down there, and Harbaugh got the running back that he want to get. You know what I'm saying? Over time, they just built that team. Tuck, you know what I'm talking about, bro. Tuck said the Steelers. I don't know about the Steelers. I think the Steelers know how to get players, but they have not figured out the quarterback. And they have not figured out how to rip. Like, I'll tell you things, the Steelers are kind of good in areas. The Steelers are a lot like us, if we're being honest. The Steelers know how to get receivers. They know how to get DBs. They know how to get pass rushers. But they don't know how to build an O line. They haven't figured out quarterback. Um, and you know what I'm saying? They kind of hover around the areas that we are. I think that the Steelers used to know how to build, but I don't know that I can really give them credit for recent day. You know what I'm saying? They are competitive, and it's a competitive division. It's just like they kind of in our spot where it's just like getting over the hump has been an issue for them. I wouldn't put them so much above us. I put them slightly above us just because I think that Mike Tomlin has been a better coach and has gotten the most out of some of the things. I think Mike Tomlin has gotten the most out of situations, if I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? I think they've been competitive because Mike Tomlin is a good head coach. But I don't think that they've necessarily put a lot of the things around him in order to even be competitive. I think that that's kind of your coach. He talked too much, said, I'll make a bet right now. Our running backs will have a great year in compliance with the wide receiver core. It all depends on what you count as a great year because Rico last year had 1,000 yards, and nobody would say that the running back room had a great year. You know what I'm saying? Like, in fact, a lot of us, we felt that we missed a lot. So it's like, I don't know how you bet on that. That's really subjective. It's really subjective. David Jenkins says, yeah, DMV, if Stafford didn't throw that interception to the Eagles in the playoffs, I felt they would have won against Washington. Yeah, you know, that was and honestly I think they got closer too and something happened. But they were in the goal line. That was a really good game. In inclement weather too. You would think that the Rams would have been a soft football team when that snow started dropping, but they were anything but that. I think the Rams. So what I will say about our preseason situation, great year, 2,800 yards. Oh, we ain't getting no 2,800 yards. Hell no. If that's the bet, I'll take that shit all day. We ain't getting no 2,800 yards. We probably won't even get two. Williams and Sanders will have over 800. Oh, I'll take that bet. What we betting? I'll take that. Because one of them, because Sanders probably ain't gonna be on this team. Oh, I should have shut up. Damn, I should have shut up about that. I don't think we get collectively two. What you think, Chuck? Chuck, you think we get 2,000 as a team? Yeah, Ty Church. I should have shut up about that one. I should have shut up and took that bet. That'd have been easy money. That'd have been easy money right there. Okay, B Savage says Michael Parsons versus Jerry Jones. I don't think they like each other personally. Jerry's scared to an agent. Jerry missed a layup. Um, I don't know what they doing. If I'm them, I would have made the deal last year. But what do I know? And then also the agent would have had to want the deal last year. But Micah made it perfectly clear that they did want the deal last year. So, you know, I don't know. Heck, he talked too much, says, y'all think that was Sanders showing yesterday. And here's my thing. I kind of feel like Sanders got the raw end of the deal. I think that it's fair to Sanders to really use that as an evaluation, him in the live game. And because before yesterday, Sanders was looking great in practice. And in that patty cake practice that everybody says this person's doing that, this person's doing this, Sanders was looking good. So how do we know what Williams would have looked like if he's not asked to do a live game? If they sat him out, I thought that you should have put them next to each other. That way, you get a good gauge on things. And so Todd Church says Sanders' vision wasn't there, and that's rightfully so. We don't know that Williams' vision would have been there. It wasn't blocking and it wasn't catching. His vision and being able to run the football was in question. And if you don't believe me, Brian Broaddus said that. I did a video on that. Brian Broaddus will tell you that. You know what I'm saying? But in our patty cake practices, you know what I'm saying? The vision looked good. Hell, Miles Sanders' vision looked good in practice. I don't, like me personally, I don't feel comfortable not seeing these guys in live action before I make a real evaluation of this whole running back room. If we're being completely honest, Williams and Blue are the only ones we have not seen in live action. The line hasn't looked as good in live action, and our defense has not looked as good in live action. So, as in live action, those holes close up a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? When there's bullets flying. So, I mean, I personally don't think that Williams did enough to warrant him not playing a live game. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. JC, what up, guy? He said, "Yeah, we need to see these guys live." I just don't think that, and I'm not saying that Williams isn't a better back right now, or better for what we want to do. All I'm saying is, I think that both of those guys should have gotten level, even playing field. I don't. The only reason, and I'm going to say this, the only reason it wasn't even is because Javonte Williams is getting paid $3 million, and Miles Sanders is getting paid $1 million. I don't think it have anything to do with ability. I think it got everything to do with the checkbook. So Williams is gonna be on this damn team because they gotta pay his money for this 1 year. It don't got nothing to do with nothing but the checkbook. Blue is gonna be here regardless. Blue showed some flashes in practice, got hurt, but his spot is safe. And I think what's gonna happen is I think Blue probably is all right. I think when they make the final roster cuts and stuff like that, I think we're gonna keep three running backs. I think it'll be Williams, Blue, and Lipke, and we're gonna put two of the guys on practice squad. Malik Davis will probably make the practice squad, even though Malik Davis has looked the best running the football. Tuck said Joe Milton looked good in practice. Hey, Joe Milton made me think that in a couple years, when Dak's deal is up, we had the opportunity. Hey, he gonna take over. Hell, that patty cake practice, man. Damn that patty cake practice. Damn that patty cake practice. That practice soft as baby shit. Soft, soft, soft. And Tacher said, I'm going to be honest, Javante got the best sponsor in Stephen Jones. Absolutely. And crazy thing about it is, these dudes think that $3 million is paying a lot for the running back. It's paying a lot. Bro, we cheap. We handled it cheap. And it's going to look cheap when we go out there. It's going to look cheap. That's how I know. And because it's cheap, you're not going to depend on it. When things get tough, when we're in those battles, like think about this, right? I was telling Tuck, I was telling Rome, because we talk a lot. What's up, Richard Royster? I was telling them, like yesterday, I was getting an air filter for my AC. For the people who don't, y'all know sometimes you got to go get that air filter to throw in your little AC unit if you got an AC unit, if you don't got a wall unit or anything like that. If you got central air, you got to change the air filter every now and then. So I went and I was there with my 10-year-old daughter. And so there was two sets of air filters for the size that we needed. There was the superior allergen, and then there was just the regular allergen. So the superior allergen one was $20. It was a $20 filter, and then the regular one was $15. And so when you look at the packaging, it tells you all of the things that come with it. It tells you like all of the things that the superior one blocks against, and then you compare that to what the regular one has, and then I'm thinking to myself, it's only $5 extra, right? I might as well go ahead and get the superior one. And I trust that more than I trust the regular. So when we go into these games, are you going to trust the superior stuff, or are you going to trust the regular to cheap stuff? And I know for my people out there who get their cars, when you get your, you know what I'm saying, you get your car, like you get tires, if you get tires, or if you get like car parts to get something fixed, they always got the expensive, high quality parts. They got the mid tier quality parts, and then they got the cheap shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you got like an older car or something, you just need to get from A to B or whatever, you're gonna probably pick the cheap shit. If you want it to last a little longer, and depending on your budget, you know what I'm saying, you might go mid tier. But if you don't care about money because you just got money and it's just out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, eh, I'm gonna splurge a little bit. My guy Tuck is the top shelf. Top shelf. With the running back room, we be getting the cheap shit. We be getting the cheap shit when it comes to the running back room. This year we got all cheap shit. So there's no way in hell that you depend on the cheap shit. We got the bottom tier. Ain't no way you gonna say, you know what? It's raining out here. Let me hand this ball off to Javante Williams 5 times in a row and get up out of here. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. The superior shit that we got is CD Lamb. That's what we got. That's our superior shit. You know what I'm saying? B Savage, excellent comment. Practice, you don't really know about your team until you play another team, to be real, because coaches will never say this was a shitty or terrible practice. So preseason tell you more than practice. I mean, coaches will tell you if a practice is shitty or not, but you know what I'm saying? What if all your practices are shitty? What if, to your point, what if it seemed like a good practice, but in actuality, because that's what you see every day, you think that that's high intensity until you reach a team that just go out there and they want it more than you, and you see like, damn. We didn't play to this level of intensity at all. We not used to this shit. That's what's happened with the Rams, and that's what happened with the Ravens. It just looked like they were a lot more prepared for battle. They were a lot more prepared for war than we were. You know what I'm saying? And part of it might be because you're dealing with a whole bunch of cheap shit. Dealing with a whole bunch of cheap shit. Running back ain't the only thing that we got cheap shit. And by cheap shit, I mean the quality. The quality is just different. Like you look at the Ravens roster, and just the quality of their roster is just superior to ours, guys. It's superior. We can't sit here and act like it's not. They have superior players. And it's crazy because they're always picking after us. They're always picking after us. But they have superior talent, they have superior pedigree, and they have superior culture. The Rams, I looked at them, and you know, I think that they get more out of their cheap shit. They had a Lampkin, the center, against us, and technically that's kind of like some of the players that we like to develop. And Lampkin would have never looked like that with us. So sometimes when you do get cheap shit, you got to know how to deal with it. You got to know how to get the most out of it. Somebody said cheap is not the way, but always do your homework. Excellent comment, Richard, because that's what I'm talking about. If you're going to have cheap shit, your coaching got to be the superior shit. Your coaching got to be top shelf. For however much cheap and low shelf stuff you have, that means that's how much more your coaching has to be top shelf. What up, Lou? What up, my guy? What up? Y'all hit that like button, man. Cause I feel like I'm on one right now. I feel like I'm spitting right now. That hot fire. Regina said, "Will Shotty ever say it though?" Bruh, Shotty is the cheap shit. Shotty is the cheap shit, y'all. He mid tier to cheap shit. And how his coaching situation was handled was low shelf shit. They didn't want Shotty. They kind of talked him into interviewing for the job and making him interview for it because this was the only chance that he could get it. Bro, they sold Shotty just like they selling us, bro. They sold him just like they selling us. That's why it's like I hear a lot of people upset at Jesse Holly for asking the tough questions. Why the hell not? He took the job. He took the job. Oh, poor Shotty. You gotta give Shotty a chance. You know, Shotty's saying all the right things. I feel like Shotty. I feel like Shotty. If you give him the opportunity, he's gonna do all the good things. Shotty been saying a lot of the same things when Mike was here that he's saying right now. He just shined it up a little bit better for y'all. He shined it up a little bit better for everybody, and we believed him. We believed. We believe Shotty. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a good dude. A lot of these dudes are good dudes. Jerry's probably, I've heard Jerry's one of the most genuine. I heard Jerry's a good dude. I've also heard Jerry's a bit of an asshole too. So, you know, it's like you hear different things from different people. Regina says he claims to be authentic, but will he call out Jerry? No, he won't. He won't. Shotty made y'all think he's a tough guy. He made y'all think that, you know what I'm saying, all this tough stuff. I want y'all to go back and check something out. My dude Tuck did a video on this. And I told Tuck, I was like, man, follow up on this, bro. Follow up on this. Tuck did a video on the identity of Shotty, and I watched it yesterday. Shotty was saying all the same shit about physicality and running the ball and using the fullback and all of like, bro, he regurgitated the same shit then that he was saying now. And then what he'll hang his hat on is I've led the league in rushing twice. That was when he first got to Seattle, right? And then like Tuck brought up on cover three, there was philosophical differences on his way out of Seattle. You know what I'm saying? One thing we do know about Pete gonna have a tough football team. So what the hell was the philosophical differences? If Pete Carroll, who's known generally all the time for having tough football teams, what was the philosophical difference? I don't think that there's anybody out here who watches football that says that Pete Carroll, with his signature of ways of building football teams, that his teams ain't tough. So, so again, what was the difference? I do know that I've seen Shotty in Dallas for 3 years, and nobody would call us tough. Nobody would call us a tough football team. So I guess what I'm saying, guys, is that Shotty gonna have to show me, or what they're gonna have to do is, if you're not a tough coach, you got to go get tough guys, tough players. Do, now, with this being said, Brian Robinson Jr. does he get hurt? Sure, there are injury concerns. The way he plays football, though, he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. He's tougher than any other running backs we have. He's a tough guy. Will he lay that ball on the ground sometimes? Probably. I think there's something that everybody has that's an issue in this running back room. But I will tell you that getting Brian Robinson Jr., if he hits the market, or if they cut him, because there's the possibility that Washington cut him. Brian Robinson makes you a tougher football team. That's one thing I will hang my hat on, and I'll believe that 100%. 100%. See, B Savage's Ravens are the best preseason team. They usually go undefeated in preseason. They're normally a really good football team anyway, because they're built that way. And it's not like they're winning. It's not like they're playing for preseason. The Ravens are just good. They're good around the board typically. You know what I'm saying? They're built. They I think that they still follow the blueprint that Ozzie left them when he left. They still follow that. Virginia says he was chosen because of 3 years in. Yep. B Savage says he throws people out for fighting, but fighting in practice is actually, in my opinion, is a good thing. I agree. That's kind of where I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? And then, what part of being tough is, hey, Javonte Williams, you got the job. You ain't got to show us nothing live, dog. You good. You good. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. I am not a Shotty believer. Could Shotty make me believe? Could I eat crow? Yes, I ate crow on Joe Milton. I don't have a problem with being wrong. I don't have a problem with being wrong. I don't have a problem with meeting common ground with people either. Don't have a problem. But I'm not a big believer in Shotty. I'm just not. But yeah, man, I just wanted to get on here, go live. My phone's dying a little bit. I got to keep a little bit of battery before I get back to the crib. But appreciate y'all for tuning in for this live walk and talk. Now that I know that the microphone works pretty good, you know what I'm saying? I'll do a lot more, you know what I'm saying, out in nature, walking, working out, doing stuff like that. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. We out.